Superman returns, but not to the world he left. A chill has fallen over Metropolis. The air is thick with tension, a city divided against itself. A new movement, led by charismatic voices, is taking root. They point to the recent crises, the shattered buildings, the narrow escapes, and they ask a simple, terrifying question. Can we afford to trust beings powerful enough to break our world? They whisper that control is safety, that power must be leashed before it decides for us, and so the laws begin to change. Emergency acts, they call them, small at first, then bolder. Each one a thread in a net being woven around Superman, promising security in exchange for his freedom. At the Daily Planet, Lois Lane senses something wrong. This movement, it's too polished, too perfectly timed. Digging deep, she uncovers a name whispered in the darkest corners of power, Director Hale, a ghost, a brilliant strategist who sees humanity as a grand chessboard. Hale believes absolute freedom is a child playing with fire, a path that can only end in catastrophe. Meanwhile, Clark Kent is facing his own crisis. The uniform feels heavier. The very people he swore to protect are now forging chains for him. How can he save humanity if it means fighting the leaders they've chosen to follow? His heart aches with a paradox he can't solve. Then, the unthinkable happens. Not one disaster, but a dozen, all at once, a symphony of chaos across the globe. Fires rage, bridges crumble, dams burst. Superman is a blur of red and blue, a desperate race against time. He moves to intervene, to hold back a collapsing skyscraper, but then a voice, cold and automated, echoes from unseen speakers. Stand down, Superman. Your actions are unauthorized. New defense systems, empowered by the recent laws, activate their weapons, aiming not at the disaster, but at him. He's faced with an impossible choice. Obey the law and watch thousands perish, or defy the world's command to save them. For Superman, there was never really a choice. People will always come before permission. He becomes a whirlwind of unstoppable compassion, diverting floods, catching falling debris, shielding crowds from explosions. He saves thousands, a miracle of heroism. But the cameras are rolling, and the narrative has already been written. The footage is edited, twisted, and broadcast to every screen on the planet. They don't show the lives he saved. They show his defiance. The hero becomes a threat. The savior, a rogue agent. Global fear ignites, fanned by Hale's invisible hand. He is now hunted. The very governments he once aided send their forces to bring him in, but Superman refuses to fight back. He evades, he endures, but he will not raise a hand against those acting out of fear. He knows the real battle isn't one of fists, but of truth. Using his own methods, he bypasses Hale's media blockade. He broadcasts the raw, unedited footage of the disasters. He shows the faces of the people he saved, the impossible choices he faced, the way his every move was framed to stoke panic. He doesn't demand trust, he presents evidence. He doesn't silence his critics, he asks them to think for themselves. And slowly, the tide begins to turn. Blind outrage gives way to public debate. Protests turn into conversations. People start asking questions. Seeing the shift, world leaders hesitate. The automated defense systems, once a symbol of control, are quietly powered down. And just as suddenly as he appeared in the shadows, Director Hale vanishes. A final, chilling message is left behind. This was only a test, the beginning. The crisis is over, but the quiet war for the world's soul has just begun. Tonight, Superman stands alone, a solitary figure watching over a city that both loves and fears him. His place in this new world is uncertain, his future a question mark. But as he looks down, his resolve is unbreakable. Freedom, he knows, always has a price. And the true test of hope is not whether one man can bear its weight, but whether we, all of us, are willing to pay it together. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more.